Hey guys, so today I am doing a speed build in Strangerville. So originally I had this idea of doing like two townhouses connected in Strangerville, but then I kind of changed my mind and just made it one house. The reason being is because I am doing another speed build for my Super Sim. I decided to finally bite the bullet and play Strangerville. I've already played through Strangerville once, and I feel like when you play through it once, you don't really need to play through it again. So I was kind of hesitant to play in Strangerville, but for the purposes of my Super Sim save, I knew I would have to do it eventually. So I decided to do it. We packed up everything from our last home and we moved to Strangerville, where we move into this kind of weird house that I built. Because in the beginning of this build, I had a very clear sort of vibe for it. I kind of wanted it to be like an old townhouse. I had like a vision of what I wanted it to be, but then as soon as I started to put in the doors and the windows, I was kind of like, I don't really know what's happening in this build. And that's just because, like, even from the front, I was like, I don't know what door I want to put here. The window placement is kind of weird. And so, yeah, this is just like an odd little house, but I think it's kind of fitting for Strangerville if it's a bit weird. So, yeah, that's the vibe we're going for. It's like a weird little, like, country house or something. Because I've been building so much for my Super Sim, I have been trying to change it up each time to make it a little bit different, so we're not always living in the same style of house. I'm pretty sure that before we moved here, we lived in San Myshuno. So this is a big change from where we were before. And I think it was kind of nice to be away from the apartments for a while, because I was playing in those apartments for ages. I think like in total it was like maybe like 3 or 4 weeks, which probably doesn't sound like a lot, but like to me that was a long time I was in those apartments, because I lived in 2 different apartments in San Myshuno. So I think I was kind of glad to move away from apartments and then move back into a proper house, especially because one of the things that annoyed me about apartments is that you're not allowed to put like seasonal decorations up, which normally isn't a big deal because I don't really pay attention to the seasonal decorations, but it did annoy me just because it's like one of those things you have to tick off for events, you know, like decorating, but I couldn't do that in the apartments, so that was kind of annoying. So I was excited to move to a house, excited to do something different. This place was a lot smaller than the place that we lived in before, but that didn't mean that it was any easier to furnish, mainly because, like I said, I was going with this weird style of like furnishing and decorating because I wanted it to be like looking like a kind of old house. So I wanted like old kind of looking wallpaper and stuff. And then when it came to furnishing, I think I kind of struggled because one, the living room is kind of a weird shape, and I think that it is a lot smaller than I thought it was going to be, because sometimes whenever you're doing like the outside of the house and you're just making the foundations and stuff, things can look a lot bigger than they actually are. And I think that was the case here. I think what I was building was probably like a bigger, like decent sized house in my mind, but then I actually like made the floor plan and I was like, you know what, this is kind of small. Which is fine. I mean, my Sims lived in giant houses, she's lived in smaller houses, like we even lived in a tiny home in Sulani one time. So you know, we're used to like adjusting to whatever we're given. Plus, it turned out that when I was playing Strangerville, I wasn't even in this house that much anyway. Literally, like I finished Strangerville in like one night when I was playing my Super Sim challenge, and we were barely at home. We spent most of our time at that bar in Strangerville, and that's just because at this point in my Super Sim save, my Sim has like all the traits, which means that she doesn't need to fulfill like any of her needs. So we were never really home. That being said, I did stay here until we at least completed the military career. So, I mean, we were here for like, not as long as other houses, but we were here for like a little while, and it was okay. Definitely not one of my favorite houses that I've ever built, but definitely something a little bit different. I did like the utility room that I put in with the little laundry room. That's probably my favorite room in the entire house. The rest of the house is kind of okay. I mean, I feel like it kind of follows the formula to all my houses in terms of, I like my little like kitchen area where we have like one wall of counters and our little kitchen island. I feel like the bedroom's kind of cute on its own. You know what? I actually think that that's maybe what's the issue with this build. It's that individually all the rooms look okay, but all together in the one house, it looks a bit weird. So yeah, I think that's what's going on in this house, but at the same time, it was okay. I mean, I think it's fine for Strangerville if the house is a little bit weird. I do remember when Strangerville came out and all the Simmer YouTubers were complaining about how weird the Strangerville houses were anyway. But that was in terms of like them having literally no furniture. In mine, we have a lot of furniture. It's just a little weird and they don't always go together. Anyway, I guess that's it for this little Strangerville house. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more. And let me know in the comments below what you guys think of the Strangerville storyline. Personally, for me, I thought it was just okay. It's not really my type of thing. I did like that it was something different for The Sims 4 though, and I did enjoy playing through it the first time. But like I said, after the first time, I feel like you don't really need to play it again. But yeah, like I said, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you in my next video. Bye guys.